arc measure in this video. Arc measure is going to be given in degrees as opposed to arc length that was given in, let's say, feet or inches, for instance. First of all, we need to know what a central angle is. A central angle is any angle that uses the center of the circle as its vertex. So for example, this angle that I trace out, BDC, is a central angle. And we want to see how that relates to arc measures. Some arcs can be named with 2 letters and some can be named with 3 letters. Let's start here with arc BC. Sorry, my marker is giving out. Let's find this measure. Well, BC, we can find out how long that arc is by consulting the central angle. It's going to be also 80 degrees. So the central angle equals the arc measure. And I like to label that right out on my circle. Let's do another one. Let's do the measure of arc AB. Well, I look at its central angles measure and it's 20. So the arc's measure is 20. How about that? Maybe I want to go from A to C. I'm still going to only use 2 letters, but I'm going to go find the measure from A to C. I would add those together and I would get an arc measure of 100. So we now need to see, well, when would you use more than 2 letters? Well, you use 3 letters would be your other option for naming an arc, and that's when you go halfway around the circle or more than halfway. Let's take a longer trip. Let's go from B to A to C. I'm going to trace that out. From B to A to C, I can tell that's half or more around, so I'm using 3 letters. I can notice that it's all but 80 degrees of the circle, so I would go 360 minus 80 to get to 80. Take a look at a second circle. It involves some circles that show diameters. RT is a diameter, as is SY. Let's try some questions down here. That means these angles formed our central angles. Let's start with the measure of arc ST. I'm using 2 letters because I'm only traveling a short distance around. The measure would be 50 because that's the angle. But now let's go and look at a different arc, RS, and its measure. Well, I need to go and look at the angle. Well, the angle's not labeled, students, but don't forget, this is a diameter, so it's halfway around. We know halfway around is 180. So I need these 2 angles to add to equal 180, and that makes this 130. And if this is 130, then the arc will also be 130. Let's try an arc that needs 3 letters to get its point across. That would be the measure of arc RST. Let me show you which arc I'm talking about there. Pin's going out on me, but it's this one on the top half of the circle. Well, it's exactly halfway around, which makes it be 180 degrees.